In this second part of the tutorial, I'll show you how to continue with this duplication process so you can make individual lights out of these. And the nice thing about doing it this way is that since we still have this curve here, we can, even though they're attached to it like this, we can then say, for instance, go get the proportional editing tool. Let's see if I can get this over here. So there it is in edit mode. So now I can just take this and maybe move it on, let's say GY like this, or change this. Well, I don't want to do it on that. I want to do it just like on a single vertex like this, say GY, and move it like this. Or I'll change it up maybe like that. Alright. And then I'll rotate that, So I've changed it this way, or I could change it into a circle, or, it doesn't matter really what, of course. I'll leave that. I'll go get this this middle light here. Now notice this is the object that's to be duplicated. These are just duplicates. Remember, I can't click these yet, right? But I can control them here. But so let's rotate these on X like that, and I'll change it in the scene here. Let's see what it looks like in our scene, and you can see the way the light's changing now. Let's crank it up a little bit and see how the effect is like there. So now you can change the location of the light like that, which is really useful depending on what you have in your scene. Alright, but now maybe I don't want them all the same color. And in this case, since they're all part of this one object, they're all going to be the same color. I mean, I could change this and make them all blue lights, right? So now they're all blue lights, green lights, but they're all the same. But, if you have a nice stage effect, you don't want them all the same color. So in that case, we are going to try and make these duplicates real. Normally you do this with an object. You create a crowd control scene or something. You make lots of copies of just this object here. And the reason you do it is you can then take this one object, and just by scaling this object by itself, you scale all of them, scaling the lights even in this case like that. Alright, but maybe you've got the basic layout of how you want it to be in the scene, and then instead we'll go use that Control A option. It's here, Control A, apply, and you make the duplicates real. I should be able to make those duplicates. Oh, okay, well, hang on. Let's do it with curve selected. Alright, we'll make the duplicates real. There they are. Alright, so now they're individual objects, so they are individually selectable like this. Now of course if I go change the color of this light here like this to red, and then I go pick that one up, that one's red also. So in order to change that, you'd have to go to each individual light here. At least they're already positioned in the scene with the same brightness level, or sometimes a better way to do it is you have your node editor up, and within the node editor maybe you have this is much more than just say a color and the material like this. Say it's a whole array of nodes, then you would group those nodes like I've shown in previous lessons, and once you have those grouped and named, then when you pick another individual object, you can just go grab that, you can add that group to the scene, and then you might maybe just change one parameter, but you don't have to re-change everything else. So to work in here, just to change it, I'm going to press U and make single user object data materials and texture like this. Okay, now when I change this one here to blue like that, and I'll go get this, that's still that same color like that. We're going to press U on this one and make that separate, and then to turn that one to green like that. I'm going to turn this one into, whoops, better press U first, and I'm going to turn that into yellow, and I'll get that one, and I'll press U, and I'll turn that one into orange, and that one U, that one into red, that one in there. Oh, well, I think you kind of get the idea. So when we go now look at the lights here, back in 3D mode, in rendered mode, now we already see that we have all those colored lights showing up in the scene. So let's really make it obvious by turning this into more of a white surface like that here, right? And now you can start seeing all these lights in here. You can see the colors surface. I just grabbed any of them. You can see the lights down there like that. Okay, so now you have, your other issue is then how do you rotate them all at the same time, because now that they're real objects by themselves, well, to do that I would have to shift and click each one that I wanted to rotate. Maybe I just wanted to rotate this batch. This one back here just doesn't matter anymore, and then I would have to change my orientation here for the pivot. So I'd pivot on individual origins, and then when I rotate that on the local x-axis like this, then they are all rotating, and then you can see the colors changing over there, the lighting in the scene over there, like that. And you don't want to use a regular spotlight. Well, you might want to use a regular spotlight, but make sure you watch that tutorial that I put up on the difference between spotlights and regular lights within Blender, because it makes a huge difference in your lighting scenario. All right, well, that's it for this lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson.